Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested Tuesday on a warrant from the International Criminal Court accusing him of crimes against humanity over deadly anti-drugs crackdowns he oversaw while in office, the Philippine government said. According to Associated Press, Duterte was taken into custody at the Manila International Airport after arriving from Hong Kong with his family, becoming the first former Asian leader to be arrested by the global court. He was later driven to the nearby Villamor Air Base. It was unclear where he would be taken next by authorities. Clad in a dark jacket, an irate Duterte protested his arrest after arrival and asked authorities the legal basis of his being taken into custody. His lawyers immediately asked the Supreme Court in Manila to block any attempt to transport him out of the Philippines to be handed over to the ICC in Europe. "Show to me now the legal basis for my being here," Duterte asked authorities in remarks captured on video by his daughter, Veronica Duterte, who posted it on social media. "You have to answer now for the deprivation of liberty." The surprise arrest sparked a commotion at the airport, where lawyers and aides of Duterte loudly protested that they, along with a doctor and lawyers, were prevented from coming close to him after he was taken into police custody.
For detention and the basis for detention. So, what is the law and what is the crime that I committed? Show to me now the legal basis for my being here. As apparently I was brought here not of my own volition. It's somebody else's. So you have to answer now for the deprivation of liberty. Sabihin ko, you're the person who arrested me. May I know the reason why? Have you read the documents? Or at least have you read the case at that time when you made the arrest? So that you would be guided to what you should know.
Iran on Monday denied it had received any letter from U.S. President Donald Trump seeking a new nuclear deal. According to Associated Press, Trump claimed to have sent a letter to Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei advocating a new deal with Tehran to restrain its rapidly advancing nuclear program and replace the agreement he withdrew America from during his first term in office. However, Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesman, Esmail Baghaei, said no such letter had been received. Iranian state media immediately picked up on Trump's acknowledgement, given in excerpts from a Fox Business Network interview that aired last Friday, though there was no confirmation from Khamenei's office that any letter had been received. Khamenei said on Saturday he rejects a U.S. push for talks between the two countries because they would be aimed at imposing restrictions on Iranian missile range and its influence in the region. Iran on Sunday said it would consider negotiations with the United States if the talks were confined to concerns about the militarization of its nuclear program. Baghaei also refuted allegations that Iran has played a role in the recent clashes in Syria. An ambush on a Syrian security patrol by gunmen loyal to ousted leader Bashar Assad escalated into clashes that a War Monitor estimates have killed more than 1,000 people over 4 days. The attack Thursday near the port city of Latakia reopened the wounds of the country's 13-year civil war and sparked the worst violence Syria has seen since December, when insurgents led by the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, overthrew Assad. The counteroffensive against the Assad loyalists in the largely Alawite coastal region brought havoc to several cities and towns. Rights groups reported dozens of revenge killings resulting from Sunni militants targeting the minority Islamic sect, regardless of whether they were involved in the insurgency.
این اتهام کاملا مضحک و مردود هست و فکر می‌کنیم که انگشت اتهام دراز کردن به سمت ایران و دوستان ایران آدرس اشتباه دادن هست. یک جریان انحرافی است و 100% گمراه کننده. چنین چیزی مطلقاً وجود نداره. واقعاً هرچه سریعتر باید کشتار بیگناهان از طیف‌ها و گروه‌های مختلف سوری متوقف بشه، به ویژه اقلیت‌هایی که عرض کردم در معرض آسیب و جنایات بودند. خیر، نامه دریافت نشد. کشورهای منطقه بر اساس مصالح و منافع ملی خودشون و با توجه به روابط خوبی که با جمهوری اسلامی ایران وجود داره تصمیم بگیرن و اجازه ندن که فشارهای غیرقانونی و قلدرمآبانهای آمریکا باعث تاثیرگذاری منفی بر روابطشون با ملت ایران و ایجاد فتنه و تفرقه در کشورهای منطقه میشه.
U.S. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, known for his pro-Trump and pro-Ukrainian views, expressed concern about the possible cessation of intelligence and weapons supplies to Ukraine. In his opinion, the refusal to support Kyiv could lead to catastrophic consequences not only for Ukraine, but also for the U.S. Speaking on Fox News, Graham stressed that leaving Ukraine without support in the midst of hostilities is a strategic mistake. If we cut off support for Ukraine, it will be worse than Afghanistan. I don't think President Trump is really going to do that, but until there is a ceasefire, I would give Ukraine everything they need, intelligence and weapons so they can defend themselves, the senator said. At the time, the withdrawal of American soldiers from Afghanistan in 2021 became a real military disgrace for the United States. Graham spoke out against freezing military aid and stopping the flow of intelligence data to Kiev, stressing that such a step would not bring the end of the war closer, but would only give Russia an advantage. You are not helping anyone in these discussions if you do not provide Ukraine with the weapons it needs to defend itself. You are not helping to end the war if you deny Ukraine intelligence while the fighting continues, he added. U.S. President Donald Trump, commenting on the suspension of military aid, said that Ukraine may not survive in any case. According to him, the freeze on support is aimed at stopping further casualties, since, in his opinion, Kyiv does not want a peaceful settlement. Trump also called on Europe to increase its support for Ukraine, saying that European countries should bear the brunt. Graham's position highlights the split among Republicans on the issue of support for Ukraine, with Trump and his administration signaling a desire to scale back support and politicians like Graham warning of risks to the U.S. and insisting on continued aid. The question remains how far the reduction in military support will go and what role Ukraine's European allies will play in it. Graham said earlier he will be introducing legislation to sanction the hell out of Russia if they don't come to the negotiating table. In terms of Russia, I will be introducing sanctions on their banking sector and on their energy sector next week, urging them to get to the table if they don't engage in ceasefire and peace talks with the administration. We should sanction the hell out of them. And I'll have legislation to do that next week, Graham said.